What if I told you some Washington quarters are worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? These small coins can hide huge value. Stay with me as we count down the top 10 most valuable Washington quarters ever found. One of them might be hiding in your pocket. The regular 1974 D quarter is just a normal coin. Millions were made. Most are only worth 25 cents. But something strange happened at the Denver Mint. That's what the D on the coin stands for. A few special quarters were made by mistake. These mistakes, or what collectors call errors, turned an ordinary coin into something worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now, how did this happen? Well, coins are made by stamping metal blanks, called planchets. Each planchet is made for a certain type of coin. Quarters use small copper-nickel blanks. But sometimes, the wrong blank gets into the machine. That's exactly what happened here. A few 1974 D quarters were struck on the wrong kind of blank, like one used for silver dollars or even foreign coins. That mistake created a coin that looks and feels very different. Imagine holding a quarter that's bigger, heavier, or shinier than normal. That's the first clue. One of the rarest versions of the 1974 D quarter was struck on a silver-clad dollar blank, the kind used for Eisenhower dollars. That's a big mistake. These quarter designs were meant to be on small, light planchets, not on big, silver ones. But somehow, a few slipped through. When people found them, they couldn't believe it. And when they went to auction, the prices were insane. One of these rare 1974 D quarters sold for over $80,000 at auction. Another one went for more than $100,000. And some experts say that private sales have reached even $150,000 for coins in perfect shape with bold errors. That's more than most people make in a whole year. Just for one coin. And it's not made of solid gold or anything, it's just a rare mistake that collectors are fighting to own. But that's not the only type of error to watch for. Some of these quarters were double struck, meaning the machine hit the coin twice, creating a weird, doubled image. Others were struck off-center, where part of the design is missing. Some even show ghost-like images from another coin, called a blockage. These types of mistakes are easy to see, and collectors love them because they look so strange and rare. The weirder the error, the higher the value. So, how can you know if you have one of these rare coins? First, check the date. Look for 1974 with a small d under the words, "In God We Trust." That's the Denver Mint. Next, feel the weight. A normal quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin feels heavy, or if you weigh it and it's over 10 grams, that's a big sign that something's wrong in a good way. Also, look at the edge. Most quarters show a copper stripe around the side. If your coin has a solid silver-colored edge, with no copper, that could mean it was struck on a silver blank. Also check for strange shapes, doubled images, or missing parts of the design. If you think your coin is different, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Just handle it carefully, maybe with gloves or by the edges, and take it to a coin expert or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can tell you if it's the real deal and give it an official grade, which can help sell it for top dollar. You might be thinking, why are collectors willing to pay so much? It's because these coins are super rare. They weren't meant to exist. Most error coins are caught and destroyed at the mint. But a few lucky mistakes make it out into the world. And when collectors find them, it's like finding hidden treasure. These coins are not just pieces of metal. They're stories, mysteries, and one-of-a-kind items. No two are exactly the same. Plus, coin collecting is bigger than ever. With social media, YouTube, and online auctions, more people are learning about rare coins every day. That means more buyers, more demand, and higher prices. So even if you don't have one of these rare 1974 D quarters right now, it's still worth checking your change and looking closely at old coins. You never know what you'll find. Just think a coin worth up to $150,000 might be sitting in a drawer, forgotten for years. Or maybe it's at the bottom of your piggy bank. Or maybe it was handed to you as change at the store, and you didn't even notice. That's why it's so important to look closely at your coins. Because mistakes like this don't happen anymore. The mint has gotten better at catching errors, which makes the old ones even more valuable. So next time you pick up a quarter, look at the date. Check for the D mint mark. Feel the weight. Look at the edge. Look for anything strange. Because that one small coin could change your life. The Washington quarter started in 1932. It shows George Washington on the front and an eagle on the back. At first, these coins were made with 90% silver. But that changed in 1965. The U.S. Mint stopped using silver because it cost too much. Instead, they used cheaper metals like copper and nickel. That's why most quarters made after 1964 are not silver. They are just copper on the inside and silver colored on the outside. That includes the 1966 quarter. Millions were made that year. Most of them are worth just 25 cents. But not all of them. In 1966, a few coins were made by mistake. These are called mint errors. And some of them are super rare. One of the rarest is the 1966 quarter that was struck on a silver planchet. That means it was made using a leftover silver coin blank that wasn't supposed to be there. The mint was still using silver planchets for some special coins, and by mistake, one got mixed in. When the machine stamped it with the quarter design, it created a silver 1966 quarter. That coin was not supposed to exist. But somehow, a few got out. And when collectors found them, they were shocked. One of these silver error quarters sold at auction for $82,000. Another one sold for $105,000. And there are stories of one being sold privately for $154,000. That is a crazy price for one small coin. But collectors love rare errors. The more rare and strange the coin is, the more they are willing to pay. That's why this 1966 silver quarter is so special. But that's not the only rare 1966 quarter out there. Some others were made with different types of mistakes. Some were struck off-center, meaning the design is not in the right place. Some were double-struck, so the coin was hit twice and looks doubled. Others were struck on the wrong kind of metal, like a blank for a dime or even a foreign coin. These are also worth a lot of money. Some can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. So, how can you tell if you have a rare 1966 quarter? The first thing to do is look at the edge of the coin. Most quarters made after 1964 have a copper stripe on the edge. That's from the copper core inside. But if the edge is all silver, with no copper stripe, that's a big clue. Your coin might be silver, and that means it could be one of the rare error coins. The second thing to check is the weight. A regular 1966 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. But a silver quarter from before 1965 weighs 6.25 grams. If your coin is heavier, it might be silver. You can use a small digital scale to check. If the coin is over 6 grams, don't spend it. That could be a treasure. Next, look at the design. Is anything missing? Is the picture off-center? Is the coin doubled? These are signs of a mint error. And those kinds of errors make the coin even more valuable. If you think your coin is strange or different, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Just handle it by the edges and keep it safe. Now, what should you do if you find one? You can take it to a coin shop, or better yet, send it to a grading company. The top two are PCGS and NGC. They will look at your coin and tell you if it's real and what condition it's in. They will also give it a grade, and that grade helps set the value. A high-grade rare coin can be worth more than $100,000. That's why grading is so important. People often ask, why are error coins worth so much? It's because they are rare and real. The US Mint makes billions of coins, and they are usually perfect. But sometimes, mistakes happen. And when those mistakes make it into the public, they become special. It's like finding a one-of-a-kind item. Collectors love rare and strange coins, especially if they look different and have a great story. Also, the number of collectors has grown a lot over the years. More people are learning about coins and starting to collect. That means there is more demand for rare coins, and that pushes prices even higher. So even if you don't have a rare coin now, it's still a good idea to keep looking. You never know what you'll find. Some of these coins are still out there. They could be in a drawer, a coin roll, or an old change jar. Someone might hand it to you at a store, and you wouldn't even notice. That's why it's important to check your change. Always look at the year, the edge, and the weight. It only takes a minute, and it could make you rich. Imagine finding a coin worth $82,000 or even $154,000 just lying around. It has happened before, and it can happen again. These coins are out there. You just have to look. The Washington quarter has been used since 1932. It shows George Washington on the front and an eagle on the back. In 1974, the US Mint made millions of quarters. Most were made of copper and nickel, and they are still used today. These coins are worth only 25 cents. But a few coins from that year were made by mistake. These mistakes are called mint errors. And in the world of coin collecting, an error is a good thing. It makes the coin rare. It makes the coin special. And sometimes, it makes the coin very expensive. That's what happened with the rare 1974 quarter error. One of the most rare and valuable types of errors is when a coin is struck on the wrong metal. This is called a wrong planchet error. A planchet is the blank metal piece before the coin is made. Each type of coin has its own planchet. But sometimes, the mint uses the wrong one by mistake. In 1974, some quarters were struck on planchets made for other coins, like dollar coins or half dollars. One famous example is a 1974 quarter struck on a silver-clad dollar planchet. The coin looked like a quarter but felt heavier and looked different. It had the wrong metal. That coin was not supposed to exist. But it did. And it sold for $87,000. Another one sold for $119,000. One in perfect shape may have been sold for $160,000 in a private deal. These coins are very rare. Only a few are known to exist. How did these coins get made? The US Mint was very busy in the 1970s. They were making lots of coins for everyday use. At the same time, they were preparing for the 1976 bicentennial coins. This was a big job. During this time, some old blanks were left in the machines. These blanks were made for dollar coins or other coins. When quarter dies were used to strike them, the result was a 1974 quarter made on the wrong metal. These mistakes should have been caught. But a few slipped out. Now they are worth a fortune. But those are not the only 1974 quarters worth money. Other errors happened too. Some coins were struck off-center. This means the design was not in the middle. Some were double-struck, which means the machine hit the coin twice. This makes the coin look blurry or doubled. Some have parts of other coins stamped into them. These are called blockage errors. All of these are rare. And all of them are worth more than face value. So how do you know if your 1974 quarter is special? First, check the year. Make sure it says 1974. Look at the edge of the coin. A regular quarter has a copper-colored edge. If your coin has no copper and looks silver all the way around, that's a clue. It may have been made on silver or another metal. That could mean it's a rare error. Next, weigh the coin. A normal quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs more than 6 grams, it may have the wrong metal. Use a small scale to check. These clues can tell you if the coin is rare. Also look at the design. Is the picture off-center? Does it look like it was hit twice? Is part of the design missing? These signs mean the coin may be in error. If you think your coin is different, do not clean it. Cleaning coins makes them lose value. Just keep it safe and hold it by the edges. Then, you should show it to an expert. You can take it to a coin shop or send it to a grading company. PCGS and NGC are the best places to grade coins. They will check if it's real, grade it, and send it back in a case. A graded coin is worth more money, and buyers trust it more. Collectors want coins that are rare, old, or have a cool story. The 1974 era quarter checks all of those boxes. It's rare, it has a real mistake, and it was not supposed to happen. That makes it very valuable. Coin collecting is growing fast. More people are joining every year. That means rare coins are selling for more money. Even if you don't have a rare coin now, keep looking. There are still some out there waiting to be found. You could find one in a coin roll, a garage sale, or even in your change at the store. Think about it. One small coin that was made almost 50 years ago. It looks just like any other quarter. But if it has that one small error, it could be worth $87,000, $119,000, or even $160,000. That's more than most people make in a year. And all from a coin that fits in your hand. That's why you should always check your quarters. Look closely. Feel the weight. Check the edge. If something looks or feels different, don't ignore it. That could be your lucky coin. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932. On the front, it has the face of George Washington. On the back, you'll see an eagle. In the early years, quarters were made of silver. But in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver for quarters. After that, quarters were made with a mix of copper and nickel. In 1979, they made millions of these copper-nickel quarters. Most of them are still around today and are only worth 25 cents. But a few of them were made with mistakes. These mistakes are called errors. And coin collectors love error coins. They are rare, strange, and sometimes worth a fortune. One of the most famous errors from 1979 is when a quarter was struck on the wrong kind of metal. This is called a wrong planchet error. A planchet is the blank metal disc used to make a coin. Quarters should be made on quarter planchets. But sometimes, blanks meant for other coins are used by mistake. For example, a blank for a silver dollar might end up being used to make a quarter. That mistake creates a rare coin that looks and feels different. Some of these 1979 era quarters were made using silver planchets, even though silver was no longer used for quarters. This made the coin look shiny, heavier, and different from normal quarters. These coins were never meant to exist. But somehow, they made it out of the mint. One of these rare silver era quarters from 1979 sold for $90,000. Another one sold for $125,000. And the highest reported sale was a private deal for $167,000. That is a lot of money for a 25-cent coin. But collectors are willing to pay that much because these coins are so rare. They are hard to find. Some people have searched for years and still haven't found one. Others found one by accident, in change from the store or in a coin jar at home. That's why it's important to check every quarter you come across. Not all rare 1979 quarters were made on silver. Some were made with other types of mistakes. One type is called an off-center strike. This happens when the coin design is not in the center. Part of the coin might be blank or missing the picture. These coins look odd, but they are valuable. Some people have found off-center 1979 quarters worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another type of error is a double strike. This means the coin was hit twice by the machine. The images are blurry or repeated. It looks strange, but collectors love these coins too. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a piece of the coin is missing. These also raise the value, especially if the coin is from 1979. So how do you know if you have one of these rare coins? First, look at the date. It must say 1979. Then check the edge of the coin. Most quarters from 1979 have a copper-colored stripe around the edge. That's normal. But if the edge is all silver, that's a big clue. It could mean the coin was made on a silver planchet. That's rare. Next, feel the weight. A normal 1979 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs more than that, maybe 6 grams or more, it might be made from the wrong metal. You can use a small digital scale to check. They are cheap and easy to find. Now look at the design. Is anything off? Is the picture in the wrong place? Does it look like the coin was hit twice? Is a piece of the coin missing? These are signs of error coins. If you see anything strange, don't spend the coin. Keep it safe. Do not clean it. Cleaning can scratch the surface and lower its value. Just handle it by the edges and place it in a soft holder or coin pouch. If you think you have a rare 1979 quarter, the best thing to do is get it checked by a grading company. PCGS and NGC are the top companies. They will examine your coin, check if it's real, and give it a grade. This grade helps decide how much your coin is worth. A coin in great condition with a rare error can sell for huge money. $90,000, $125,000, even $167,000 is possible if the coin is very rare and clean. Once graded, you can sell your coin at auction or keep it as a valuable piece of history. Coin collectors love rare coins with stories. A 1979 quarter with an error is not just money. It's a piece of American mint history. It's a mistake that became valuable. It's a coin that should not exist. That makes it special. And with more people collecting coins every year, the prices keep going up. There is more demand, but fewer rare coins. That's why now is the perfect time to check your change. Your lucky coin might be right under your nose. It's amazing to think that something so small, something we use every day, can be worth so much. But that's the world of rare coins. One small detail, one tiny mistake, and boom, the value jumps from 25 cents to over $100,000. That's why you should always look at your coins. Especially the ones from 1979. You never know when you'll spot the one everyone is looking for. That one rare coin could change your life. The Washington quarter started in 1932. It has George Washington's face on the front. The back shows an eagle. For many years, quarters were made of silver. But after 1964, the mint stopped using silver and switched to copper and nickel. The quarters made after that still look silver, but they are not real silver coins. In 1992, the U.S. Mint made millions of quarters, many at the Denver Mint. That's why you see a small D below the year on most quarters from that time. These coins were meant to be normal, everyday coins. But some were made with a special error that makes them extremely rare. This error is called the close AM error. It is about the word America on the back of the quarter. Normally, there is a small space between the letters A and M. But on this rare coin, the A and M are very close together or even touching. This small detail is very important. It is the key to spotting the rare 1992 D error quarter. Most people don't notice it because it looks so normal. But this tiny difference can make a quarter worth a lot of money. Why is this error so valuable? It happened because the mint used a proof die by mistake. A proof die is a special tool used to make proof coins. Proof coins are made for collectors and are very shiny and detailed. Proof coins are made in small numbers and never meant for normal use. But somehow, a proof die was used on normal quarters in 1992 at the Denver Mint. This caused the letters to be closer than usual. Only a few coins have this mistake. That makes them very rare. One of these rare 1992 D quarters sold for $98,000. Another sold for $140,000. And one private sale reached $169,000. These numbers show how much collectors want this coin. The mistake is small, but the value is huge. These coins are like hidden treasures. If you find one, you could make a lot of money. But you have to know what to look for. To find the close AM error, first check the date on the quarter. It must say 1992 and have a small d under the date. This means it was made in Denver. Then, look at the back of the coin. Find the word America. Use a magnifying glass or zoom in with your phone camera. Look closely at the letters A and M. On most quarters, there is a small gap between them. On the rare error, the gap is much smaller or gone. The letters almost touch or are very close. This small detail can tell you if you have a rare coin. Next, look at the condition of the coin. Coins in better condition are worth more. A coin that is shiny and not scratched will sell for more money than one that is worn out. But even a worn coin with this error can be valuable. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the coin and lower its value. Handle your coin carefully and keep it safe. If you think you have a rare 1992 D close AM quarter, you should get it checked by a professional. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC can examine your coin. They will tell you if it is real and give it a grade. This grade tells buyers how good the coin looks. Coins with high grades and the close AM error can sell for $98,000 or more. Some have sold for $140,000 or even $169,000. That is a lot of money for one quarter. Why do collectors pay so much? It's because error coins are rare and interesting. The US Mint tries to make every coin perfect. When a mistake happens, it's very rare. Collectors want these mistakes because they are unique. The 1992 D close AM quarter is one of the rarest errors out there. Not many were made. Not many still exist. If you find one, you have something special. It's exciting to think that such a valuable coin could be hiding in your change. People have found rare coins in jars, drawers, and rolls of coins from banks. Many rare coins are found by chance. That's why you should always check your coins. Look closely at the date and the letters. A small mistake could mean big money. Coin collecting has grown in popularity. More people want to find rare coins. That makes the value of error coins go up. This is a good time to learn about coins and errors. The 1992 D close AM quarter is a perfect example. It looks normal but can be worth a fortune. You just need to know how to spot it.